I know exactly what you've been told your entire life. You've been told you're too sensitive. You've been told to toughen up. You've been told probably 1,000 times not to take things so personally. You may have spent years apologizing for your tears, your reactions, your intensity. But today, I need to tell you something important. The diagnosis you've been given is wrong. There is nothing wrong with you. You are not weak, and you are absolutely not a mistake. Psychologists call people like you highly sensitive persons, but I prefer a different term. You are a supersensor. While most people experience the world in standard definition, your brain is recording life in 8,000 resolution. And today, we're going to look at the neuroscience that proves your sensitivity isn't a flaw. It's a high-performance radar system, and the world desperately needs it. To understand yourself, we need to talk about your hardware, because this isn't just a personality trait, it's biology. Research shows your brain processes information fundamentally differently than the other 80% of the population. Think of the human brain like a camera. Most people's brains record the world at maybe 70 OP. It's efficient. It conserves energy. It captures enough detail to function comfortably. But your brain records everything in 8K. Neuroscience has identified 3 major upgrades in your system that explain why life feels so intense for you. First, you have a weaker filter. Scientists call this low latent inhibition. Most brains automatically ignore about 90% of incoming information to conserve energy. Background noise gets dismissed. Subtle details get deleted. Your brain doesn't do that. It treats everything as relevant. The texture of the chair, the hum of the refrigerator, the emotional state of the person sitting next to you, all at once. This is why you get overwhelmed more easily. But it's also why you notice beauty, patterns, and solutions that others never even register. Second, your mirror neurons are hyperresponsive. Mirror neurons are what allow us to empathize, but for you, empathy isn't intellectual, it's physical. You don't just understand that someone is sad. You feel their sadness in your own body. You are not imagining this. Your brain is literally simulating the emotional states of others. You are an emotional sponge in a world full of emotional spills. Third, and most misunderstood, you have depth of processing. Psychologists sometimes call this the pause-to-check strategy. In conversations or decision-making, you may feel slower than others. You might criticize yourself for hesitating or overthinking. But here's the truth. You are not slow. You are thorough. While others engage in shallow processing, reacting only to what's right in front of them, your brain performs deep semantic encoding. It connects the present moment to past experiences. It predicts future outcomes. It analyzes meaning, subtext, and consequence. You're not hesitating because you're confused. You're hesitating because your brain is running a complex internal simulation. That's not a bug. That's high-level computation. So the question becomes, if this trait is so demanding, why did evolution keep it? Because if sensitivity were a weakness, natural selection would have erased it thousands of years ago. But it didn't, because the tribe needed you. In ancient times, the bold risk-taking majority of the warriors were essential for hunting and defense. But a tribe made only of warriors would destroy itself. They needed advisors. They needed early warning systems. They needed you. You were the one who noticed the storm before it arrived. The one who sensed deception before it turned dangerous. The one who felt when something was off before anyone could explain why. Your sensitivity wasn't weakness. It was survival, intelligence. Modern society is loud, fast, and aggressive. It's built for the warriors. That's why you feel out of place. But being out of place does not mean being without value. There is a cost to carrying this radar. Because you process everything so deeply, your system fills up faster. When you suddenly shut down, when you need silence, when you retreat into a dark, quiet room. That's not drama. That's your RAM reaching capacity. Science offers a powerful metaphor here. Most people are like dandelions. They're resilient. They grow anywhere sidewalk cracks or open fields. But you are an orchid in harsh, noisy, or toxic environments. Orchids struggle, they wither, and for years you may have blamed yourself for not being a dandelion. But research shows something remarkable called vantage sensitivity. When an orchid is placed in the right environment with proper light, care, and space, it doesn't just survive. It outperforms. It blooms with a complexity the dandelion never can. You don't need thicker skin. You need a better environment. So here's my prescription. Stop trying to become less sensitive. You cannot change your biology, and you shouldn't want to. The world has enough numbness already. What it needs is people who still feel deeply. Protect your gift. Build boundaries. Honor your need for silence. And the next time someone tells you you're too sensitive, take a breath, smile internally, and remember the truth. You are not defective. You're just seeing the world in 8,000 resolution. And in a disconnected world, your ability to feel isn't a burden. It's a form of quiet power. Because of this high-resolution radar, you may have learned to stay silent online, to watch instead of post, to observe instead of perform. To the outside world, you might look invisible, but psychology suggests something deeper. That silence may not be weakness, it may be confidence. If you want to know whether your digital silence signals high self-trust or hidden anxiety, click the video on screen. I break down the psychology of the online ghost and why step in. Back from the noise might be the healthiest choice a super sensor can make. I'll see you there.